Hi, I'm Dave Lee with Toyota's Product Sales and Engagement Department, and I'm here today to take you on a short tour of the new 2015 Camry. Now behind me here, we have the new XSE V6 model, which is an all-new grade of Camry that our Camry owners and potential owners asked us for. Now speaking of grades, Camry is now going to come in 4 grades, and they're going to be split in half. You're going to have 2 grades that are more comfort-oriented, and that will consist of the LE and the XLE models, and of course XLE will have a lot of luxury. Then on the sporty side of things, you're going to have the SE grade and the new XSE. So let's go ahead and move back by the car here and take a closer look at some of these great features. Okay, well up front here, one of the first things you're going to notice is some drastic new styling across the front of the car. Remember now with Camry, this may be a mid-cycle change, but in fact it's a lot of a mid-cycle change here, in that on the exterior everything is different except the roof. So let's take a look at the hood here. Notice the new character lines in the hood. There's a starting point for some style change. Let's move down to the grille. Remember, this is the XSE V6. This is a sporty model, and it has a sporty grille. You've got the honeycomb treatment here and a black piano finish. Now, in your LE, XLE models, this grille will be a little bit more austere looking and a little bit more tame looking, if you can say that, right? But on the SE, XLE, you're going to get sport everywhere here. Also, you have smoked headlamp bezels. Inside here are LED high and low beams, and that's first for this class. And if you move down to the lower bumper, you're going to see integrated daytime running lights and turn signals down here. So this makes a very, very bold looking front end that will catch the consumer's eyes out there as they're moving about your lot. Now let's move further back and talk a little bit about suspension. So this Camry mid-cycle change is not just a skin change for the car. There's a lot of under the skin things happening too. So let's talk a little bit about body, chassis, and suspension work we did. First of all Camry models receive 22 additional spot welds located around the engine cowl area and also the door halos. We also retuned the springs and shocks. Because of that stiffer chassis, we could do a lot of work there to make the springs and shocks work better for ride comfort and driving performance. And then we targeted those for each grade's performance goals that we had. And then we also finished the job by putting on the appropriate size wheel and tire package to give the car the riding characteristics that we desired. Now, in the case of this XSE gas model here, this is a sporty Camry. Once again, this is one of your 2 sport grades. So you're going to have sport-tuned springs and shocks. In fact, we did extra work on these shocks to give you a firm ride in the corners, but then under chattery bumps, the shocks will give a little bit more and have more compliance to keep the ride smooth in those conditions. And then we topped it off with these 18-inch wheel and tire package we have here that has a very low sidewall height for a very good, precise steering feel for that Camry XSE gas driver. In addition to that, we did some software work on these cars too. The electric power steering has been retuned, and because of that stiffer chassis, we could get a little bit better tuning there. And then finally, we changed the VSC, or the Vehicle Stability Control System's interaction, to come in a little bit more smooth manner so drivers will notice it less. So from here, let's go ahead and move to the rear of the car and talk about some more features. Now back here we have a lot going on from a styling perspective. The concave shapes here will take you into the trunk lid, which on the XSE model has an integrated spoiler. Now remember, inside the trunk you still have over 15 cubic feet of cargo space to use. Now below that we have our newly restyled tail lamps, easily seen and also a little bit slimmer design than before. They also have an aerodynamic kick shape on the top that helps pass air over the back of the car. And then finally down below here, this is a V6 model, and all V6 model Camrys on the XLE and XSE models are going to have dual chrome exhaust tips. So it's a quick way to identify them out there on the lot. Now from here, let's move around the back of the car to the driver's side, and we'll continue our journey. Now come around the rear corner of the car here, you can look down the body side and see all the great styling cues that are going on here. You've got a lot of concave surfaces, and you'll see here at the corner, we start the upper character line here that runs along the top of the fuel filler door, along the door handles, and finishes at the front fender. Now as we move forward here, you'll notice the C-pillar. We've got a high gloss garnish in here, which gives you the visual idea that the C-pillar is actually very raked and narrow. But in fact, behind this garnish is more C-pillar metal. And that makes this a very robust piece. Now this is all part of the body side member of the car, and it is the single largest piece of sheet steel on the vehicle. And so stamping this is really where your styling on the side of the vehicle starts from and then germinates out from there. If we move a little bit more forward, you're going to notice the lower character line here as it skirts along the bottom, passes through the tire area, and finishes up in the front corner of the car to round out the body side styling. Now I'm back here by the rear wheel. I want to tell you a couple of short things here about this area. The Camrys are run on 16, 17, or 18-inch wheels, and the XSE models are the owners of the 18-inch wheels. But there's a little story on your LE model. The 16-inch wheels on that vehicle are a half-inch wider than they were in the past, which actually gives you a little bit better contact grip on the road, or a better contact patch on the road, which helps the LE model handle even better than it did before too. One final story that pertains to this area are the brakes. The brakes have the same hardware and they have the same overall stopping power, but we have gone to a revised design on the brake master cylinder and its booster to give the drivers a little bit more controllable and predictable brake feel. And this is really going to be good for potential owners coming out of different brands of cars moving to the Toyota family. Now with that, let's go ahead and move on to the interior, as we have a whole host of things to talk about there. Now as we open the door and look inside the XSE model, you'll notice here we have an 8-way power adjustable seat with power lumbar support. But beyond that, look at the seat fabric here. We have a mixed media leather, an ultra suede seat fabric, and it's got some excellent red pipe stitching on it. That ties into the gear shift knob's boot. It ties into the steering wheel. And also, if you glance out here to your door panel, you'll see genuine French stitching in that same accent red trim. Also notice the extensive use of soft touch materials on the door panel. And once again, a newly redesigned switch panel layout here for your power window and door lock switches. Now let's go ahead and get inside further, and we'll take a look at some more features. Okay, here inside the XSE V6 model, you're going to see an all-new interior. We've got a revised headliner design where it's got folded edges for maximum durability and installation ease at the plant. Over here to our left, though, we've got some of our controls for some of our new advanced driver assistance systems. And then looking through the steering wheel, you're going to see the XSE gauge cluster there, and in the middle is our all-new thin film transistor, or TFT, multi-information display. And as you can see here, it's giving us data on what's happening with the car, and right now it's telling us that our 2 passenger side doors are open, which is a far cry above what we used to have with a simple indicator light that just said you had a door open and didn't tell you which one it was. Now moving further to the right, you'll see our latest in-tune audio systems here. And one thing I like to see is that the clock is now integrated into the radio system, and it's no longer mounted above your HVAC registers up here, and it cleans up the dashboard quite a bit. Now the Camrys will come anywhere with in-tune audio all the way up to the system you see here, which is in-tune premium audio with navigation and JBL. All of the Camrys will have a backup monitor that gives you a nice display there on your audio head unit when you're in reverse. You'll notice larger buttons and easier to use knobs. You'll notice on the upper grades, dual climate control zones. If I open the door here on the center console, one of the things that our Camry returning owners have loved is the relocation of our controls here, our inputs for our 12-volt power, our aux and USB drive input, and also this Camry XSE has our available wireless charging system, and it has an on-off switch down in there too. And it's very easily reached. Okay, so then looking further aft here, alongside the gear shift lever, you'll see a revised area that now has our cup holders in it and our latest design for the rear center console storage tray that on this model also includes our seat heater controls. And that rounds out the interior features of the Camry XSE V6 gasoline model. Let's move on outside. Well, as you'd expect, the 2015 Camry is loaded with safety features. Toyota Star Safety System is standard on all models. In addition to that, the XSE and XLE models have available advanced driver assistance systems, such as adaptive radar cruise control, pre-collision system, blind spot monitor with cross-traffic alert, and lane departure alert. In addition, the 2015 Camry has 10 airbags, and the side curtain airbags are larger now for better effectiveness. So overall, that concludes our tour of the 2015 Camry and its features. And I think now with 4 grades, including the new XSE grade, the Camry will appeal to a broad range of possible consumers out there and is really a solid player here in the midsize sedan segment these days. I'd also urge you to take a look on your Toyota eShowroom site at the 2015 Camry page for details. And also, don't forget to use your Pocket Source app on your phone or your tablet device for additional Camry information. With that, I'm Dave Lee, and I thank you for your time.